see how long this lasts before things get weird.
I think we're good because you're in Chrome now.
All right, let's hope. Let's hope.
And you accepted the recording, correct?
Yeah, I got a little red circle up there. Square up there.
Bet. That means we're on, bro.
Yay, let's go.
Yeah, so man, like I said, thanks again for tapping in, bro. And it's good to see you. I haven't seen to talk to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. How long have you been down in Florida now? I've lost track of time.
A little over 2 years.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Where in Florida are you?
Fort Lauderdale.
You like it?
Love it.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's warm. It's warm. We're 4 miles from the beach here, just like we were in Delaware, and the water here is just a lot more clear and warm also.
Yeah.
And it's big here, like from West Palm all the way to Miami, it's just like one giant city.
How far is that? Like, how many miles is that? Or how long does it take you to drive that far?
To Miami?
Yeah.
So North Miami is like 20 minutes.
Oh, shit. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Sunny Isles is like 20 minutes. I can be downtown Las Olas in 6 minutes. Hard Rock Casino in 7 minutes. I'm in the building.
Bro, it's like it was like 27 degrees here this morning.
I don't miss it.
I walked outside and got my office heated up, and I was like, fuck, this sucks. I want to be in Florida right now.
Bro, I don't miss, especially like the older I get, the way my body feels, like I don't miss stepping outside and just having my face ripped off by cold wind. So, but I love Delaware, bro, and I love the Northeast still. And long term, I want to own property up there.
Yeah,
but I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there. I want to visit, stay a week, and then leave.
I'll say this: it's awesome. 8 or 9 months a year. When the peak busy parts of the summer, when there's 8 trillion people close by, all the tourists come in, and then January through March kind of suck. But otherwise, man, I kind of love living here. I love it in the spring. I love through July, and then when it's you kind of get over the heat and kind of get over that nasty muckiness, and then through the fall, it's beautiful. Leaves changing. You get the seasons. It's quiet. It's cheap. It's there. The crime is low. I kind of love living here.
Roads are super safe. I agree.
Yeah.
It's
there's
just
so many positives.
Yeah, it's that 3 months. Okay, so here's the thing. It's that 3 months that is just
brutal.
Because it's like double winter.
Yeah.
It's like summer, fall, double winter. Maybe you get 2 weeks of spring.
Yeah, and you don't get the cool parts of winter like you do in the mountains. You don't get snow. It's just cold and windy for 3 months, and it's the humidity. So it's funny. I've heard people say they like a dry cold, or a dry heat. Well, you have dry colds and humid colds, and a humid cold where you walk outside and you're just getting smacked in the face with the wind, and it's just you just feel it's just colder. It sucks.
And then months of gray too.
Everything's gray and muddy and dark. It gets dark at 4:30. That's where we're at right now. Right this second, that's what's going on. It's dark and cold and gray. So
I don't know why we get an extra hour of sunlight when we're still on the East Coast. It stays lighter here longer than up there for some reason.
Closer to the equator, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to sound like an idiot when I'm talking, but
yeah, it's weird because I remember being up there and video chatting a friend down here, and it was dark there and it wasn't dark here. And I'm like, why isn't it dark there? We're both on the East Coast.
That's weird.
It is. But we're loving it. I don't love the driving here.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
My wife's from California. She's from Orange County, and we go over there. Now, we haven't gone over there since my son's been born very often, but we used to go over there a couple times a year for a long time. And I would be 5 days in, I'd be like, God, I miss country roads.
Bro, I don't let my wife drive.
That's funny.
You know, I'll take you, babe. I got you.
Yeah, I let my wife drive everywhere. It's funny because I
I
drive.
did there. She
Yeah.
drive all the way to Dover. It's fine. Here, bro, I'm not trying to just be stressing out the whole time.
No, when we get into the city, my wife does ask me to drive. She didn't like driving in the city, so I'm fine. I drive in cities fairly regulated for work, so it's like just a regular day for me. But well, it's funny. It's like we'll get like a half an hour outside of Philly or like DC or wherever we're going, and she'll pull over and I'll drive.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
You know,
so
time for the man to be the man. You know what? Men
yeah,
have better reaction time. You know, we just generally collectively have more control over, you know, the emotions, and
all the women.
I'm pretty sure men are better drivers.
Up.
Unless we're like trying to, you know, be crazy. But if you're a man and you're trying to be safe and sharp, you have your family in the car, I feel like collectively we do better.
I think there's like something maybe like something evolutionary there too. Like I'm protecting my family. I'm going to be like on things a little bit more. I'm going to be on top of things and be a little bit sharper. And that's how I do feel about it. My head is on a swivel when I'm driving, and especially when you get into congested areas. Like it's funny. It's almost kind of fun. Like I get like hyper aware of my surroundings, and hyper aware of like my mirrors, and like it's almost like a game to me. I'm like watching the guys on the sidewalks coming up, I'm like, what's this guy doing 2 blocks away? I don't like him, like there's like a kind of a sense about it.
Yeah, that heightens. It's like you're going into a fight.
Yeah. You're going into hostile territory, so you're going to war.
So you're originally from Sussex?
No, I'm originally from Maryland. I grew up.
Ah, that's right. I remember that.
I grew up in Dorchester County, which is like, for those of you guys out there, take like if you Google Earth, like the Delmarva Peninsula, and there's like the Chesapeake Bay there, and like DC's on the left and Baltimore's up top, and then you've got like the peninsula that kind of runs down. If you draw a crosshair and divide it north to south and east to west, I grew up in the crosshair. My town had I think I grew up in the town that was about 1,200 people, and like the closest, like we like going to Cambridge, which is like the closest quote big city, was like a town of like 3,000. They had a Walmart, and a movie theater, so, and that was like a big deal to us. So it was like very rural, very small. Like I grew up working on farms and stuff like that.
That's why you're so strong.
Farm strong, baby. Yeah, absolutely. I grew up working on farms and construction sites.
For people who don't know Bozzy, he is incredibly strong and athletic.
Big old boy.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
That was another thing too. About me living up there. I do love the small town and like vibes on one end, but bro, I like to make connections.
Yeah,
and
you're good at it.
Thanks. And another thing that excited me about moving here was I was excited about the people I was going to meet coming down here.
Did that hold true for you?
Yeah, and the new friends I was going to make, and I'm like, I can't wait to meet these new people. Like when I was younger, like I just knew and hoped and had faith that I was going to have a wife one day. Yeah. And it was the same thing. Like, man, I can't wait to meet my wife. I know she's out there somewhere. Yeah. I cannot wait to meet her. And that's how I feel now. Jeff Bezos moved to Miami and is really? talking about, he's talking about, not that this is a good thing, but making Miami like the new New York and the new business hub of the world.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, it's so many people coming here and the population density, and you take the bad with the good.
Yeah, for sure. I could see. I didn't know that was going on in Miami. I don't keep a whole lot of track of what's happening elsewhere. But I could see that. I mean, like New York is kind of like a cesspool right now. It seems like. I mean, it seems like just doesn't seem like anything good happens there right now. It's just crime and
they're pouring in from New York.
Yeah. Oh, and it's cold. And if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, like, why would you be somewhere cold when you can be somewhere warm? you know,
Go visit the cold. You know,
yeah.
you can always go home and visit. And you know, I do. So I haven't been back since we left, and for sure, I want to come up there and visit soon. And you know, it's because, bro, like Delaware, bro, like people treat me so good there. You know,
Yeah.
people treat me so good. I could come back there today, and it's love out there, and I got love for Delaware. So I'm not like on no like I I just want to experience the world a little bit more, and
Wait a minute.
I
Stay
felt like we vacationed down here and have such a great time. And the last time we flew back in from Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International, back into Philadelphia, I was like, dude, last time.
Yeah, last time, huh?
Last time.
I
So
know.
you still crushing it with the photography, bro?
Yeah. I stay busy. This time of year kind of starts to wind down a little bit, and I kind of go into a little bit of an off season, which is really nice. My whole business has shifted a little bit. You know, for the last 15 years, I've said yes to literally everything. It's 2007. Said yes to everything. I mean, you want me to shoot your 2-year-old's birthday party, you know, 100 miles away for $200? Sure, why not? You know, I'll do it. I would just everything. I would say yes to everything. And my whole like idea was I want to build a big snowball and then roll it down a hill until it's huge and you can't stop it. You know, it's just gonna go. Maybe it crashes at the end. Who knows? But that was the goal. Was just kind of get like a lot of momentum and a lot of, you know, I say, but brand recognition, you know, like name recognition, and a big web of clients all over the place. Because I think that like in this line of work, like, you know, Instagram's cool and all, but like word of mouth is way cooler. It's way better. It's a very personal business. And I mean, I guess if you're just selling prints and like that's your goal, is just like the fine art stuff, Instagram is probably as good as it gets. But in my field, which is the, you know, the portraiture and the weddings and the and even some of the commercial stuff, I've actually gotten well, I'll get to that in a second. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. Going back to the last 15 years, I started and I would just say yes to everything. And that led me into shooting weddings on the weekend. That was like multiple weddings on the weekend. And then I would be gone 3 nights a week, at least, for portraits or whatever. And that burned me out. You do that for a long enough time, that can weigh on you pretty heavily. And then my son was born. And when we have a son with autism, and that's like a whole can of worms in itself. And I had to make hard decisions on like, where does this go from here? You know, like I can't continue to like burn that candle at both ends. And also my wife had been at home with him for 5 years, and you know, like that's a tricky thing, you know, staying at home with an autistic kid who doesn't talk much. Like that's hard work, and it's hard on you mentally. And she needed to change. She needed to go back to work. She needed to change in her life. So long story short, the last year I've started to say no to things, which is like a crazy experience to like, oh, you want to pay me how much to do what? No, I'm not going to do that. And it's like, and
does it feel good though, huh?
Yeah, it took some getting used to. I'm not gonna lie to you. It felt good at first, and then I didn't love it anymore. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. I missed like I don't know. I haven't really put this into words yet, but like
wasn't in your identity to turn away
maybe
like that.
Maybe that's it. And I had to have a shift in my own identity. You know, like I couldn't continue to be that same person. I had to change. I had to evolve a little bit, you know? And I think overall it was a net positive for both of us, you know? But, you know, I've also found other things that have kind of materialized in its place that fit into the schedule a little bit bigger. Because the thing about it was I couldn't continue to be gone nights and weekends all the time. You know, like it was, you know, every time there was a birthday party, oh, I got a wedding this weekend. Oh, every time there's a, hey, you guys want to have dinner? Oh, I got to shoot that night. You know, I'd only have like 2 nights off a week, you know, like, and that starts to suck a little bit. But I've been doing these like government headshots, which, you know, it's not super sexy, it's not super fun. Like I don't, you know, put that on social media. But I don't know if you know this, the federal government pays well, so it's been one of those things that is like a really nice part of my business that has kind of come out of nowhere, and it's cool because that stuff happens from 8 to 4. You know, like you got to get up early because you know I'm 2 hours from DC, but you're in DC at 8. And you're in there in the little studio all day long.
We don't mind getting up early.
I don't mind getting up early. I get up
hell
early.
No.
No, hell no.
I've become such a morning person, bro. I'm
really?
Up, yeah, bro. I'm up at 5 days a week. You know, sometimes I'm up at 4.
I'm not that way. Well, so okay. For the longest time, you know, I told you I did the weddings on the weekends. Those are you go until 1 in the morning, you know, like and a lot of times I don't get to bed till 2:30, 3 o'clock. You know,
you have to sleep.
Yeah, you gotta sleep. And then, okay, like the older you get, like, I mean, imagine you go out partying on Saturday night, and then you're screwed up for 3 days from it. You know, like I'm 36 now. Like, you can't stay up late like you used to, and then get up at 5 the next day. You know, and like no, it takes me 3 days. So I shifted my bedtime backwards. So like I would go to sleep usually around midnight every night, and then wake up 7 or 8. So I get my 8 hours, but I've since I've told you about this change in my life, this change in the schedule, I've like shifted it back a little bit. So now it's up at 6 every day. So I actually love it. I love waking up before everybody. I love seeing the sunrise. I love a morning workout, man. That is like good stuff, man.
It is. It's so it's like peaceful, bro. It's like peaceful, and you feel like, for me, I feel alive.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a fresh start, a fresh chance. I feel like, I mean, I just have a whole day in front of me.
Like you won. Yeah. You do. You have. It's like everybody says they wish they had more hours in the day. Well, you do. Just get up earlier. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I have an extra 2 hours in the day here. You know, like this is
that
awesome,
that part.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough that I have zero problems going to sleep. All I have to do is lay down, and I'm asleep.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm so tired by the time I lay down. Like when I lay down, I'm like, oh my God, wow. Like I didn't know until I lay down that this is what laying down is gonna feel like. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Let me hurry up, brush my teeth, wash my face, take a shower, like if I haven't already. And dude, I'm out in like minutes.
Dude, what time do you go to bed at night?
So I can pass out at 8:30. As soon as I feel sleepy, I go lay down and I go to sleep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so whenever that is. But my wife recently started working, and so I have to pick her up later in the evening sometimes. And
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little bit sad in the morning when I wake up and I only slept for 4 to 6 hours. And
yeah,
you know, that's what Celsius is for.
yeah, right.
That's what, because what are you gonna do? I mean, it is what, well, you need to get 8 hours sleep. Well, that's not gonna work right now. We'll get there. I'd like to get 8 hours of sleep every night. I know for a fact 8 hours of sleep for me is in my best health interest, because I could wake up with 6 or less hours of sleep, Bozzy, and I can feel the inflammation in my body. I can feel every injury I've ever had lighting up. And I could sleep for 2 or 3 more quality hours, and I wake up and I don't feel anything. And that's how I know sleep for me. 8 hours is definitely ideal. And that's why we're working so hard to be in a place of financial freedom where I can prioritize sleep like that and get that good 8 hours a night. And I bet I get it 4 nights a week.
I mean, that's good. I mean, shoot, that's probably better than most. I'm with you on that 8 hours thing. It's sweet. I don't often get 8. 7 is kind of my sweet spot, actually. Like, I found that like anything less than like 7.5, 7 to 7.5, I'm like, eh. If it's under 7, I'm not gonna feel good for the whole day. I'm gonna just feel. I feel when I wake up on like a real bad, I feel nauseous. Like I feel like sick. Like I'm like, oh my God, I feel awful right now. And I'm just a wreck for the whole day. If I have like a 5 or 6 hour night, you know, like I just, I suck. So
It does suck. And it's sad when you wake up and you're like, time to get up, bro.
yeah, you got yeah.
We're not about to lay here and feel sad and tired. Like, get up. After like 10 minutes, it's not quite as bad. And then I wait. You know, you shouldn't drink caffeine within that first hour of waking up because it's not going to do shit.
Right.
People don't know that. Like, nah, wait. And so I just, you know, get through that first hour, and then I crack that thing open. About halfway through, I'm like, okay, let's go. We're up now.
Yeah,
we are waking up. And
are you a coffee drinker, or are you a Celsius drinker, or like an energy drink kind of guy?
Yeah, I like the I started drinking these Alanis. They taste better, and Celsius isn't really that great for you. They did a great job branding. You know, look at their can. It's a real simple looking, healthy type. They did a good job with their marketing, but they're not really that great for you. So, I want to. That's a great question, because I want to really just start making my own energy drinks, not necessarily for sale, but like I'd like to have all the extracts, and then you know, I can just buy some Pellegrino if I want some bubbly, or just have flat water, or like homemade Gatorade with you know, water, Celtic salt, and citrus and honey. And then I can put my guarana extract in that. You can put the mushroom extracts in there, and then you can go ahead. But I haven't seen any, like, you know how they have condensed creatine? I haven't seen like condensed caffeine powder or extract. But that's something I've been thinking about. I'd like to just make my own healthy energy drink.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, they make those like those Stacker 2 pills, right? Like the gas station boner pills. They're chock full of caffeine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These things have like 300 milligrams of caffeine in them.
Yeah. And then also add like, yeah, bro, like get some juice put in the energy drink too. You know, so if I got fresh juice that I made and put in a jar, then I can use that as part of the liquid base for it. And but that's, you know, right now I'm like really busy, and it's just way, you know, convenience over
like
that right now.
Like one of those things someday.
Yeah, someday, but someday, like, you know, soon though, like within the next 6 months, I'd like that to be a part of my routine, and you just start working stuff into your lifestyle, man. Are you still doing CrossFit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that shit the day I die. It's a cheat code, you know, it really is. It changes. I mean, the way that you know that I work out does change, but like the basic principles of it, I'll do forever. Absolutely. I actually have right now. I have a torn ACL. I have to go get knee surgery in 2 weeks. So, and I'll tell you what, I've used CrossFit. I've used the principles that I've learned with that stuff, and that's as prehab, and that's gotten me through. Because I had it in July. I tore it in July. Well, that's the middle of my season. I don't, you know, I'm a self-employed photographer, man. Like there is no calling in sick. You know, it's like you know, you better get to work, buddy.
Yeah.
So I had to like get through the year, and it was like one day at a time. And it's like it was kind of
one day at a time, bro.
Dude, it was kind of fun. Like it was almost like I was training myself to work, to like shoot weddings and stuff, because that was the main thing on the weekend that I had to do. So like all through the week, like that was my sole focus. And it's like the first time I would say in my life, like I've trained for like one specific day all week, and I like anchored around that one day. It was almost like a football player, you know, where it's like, you know, you take Monday to recover, and Tuesday you get into there, and then Wednesday you go hard, and then Thursday you go hard, and then you taper off on Friday. And then Saturday is game day. you know, and it was kind of cool. Like that, you know, look at finding silver linings, I guess. Nothing was cool about having it, and I can't wait to have it fixed. But yeah, absolutely. You know how, I mean, you still doing some jiu-jitsu?
So not at this time.
Yeah.
Not at this time because a few reasons, bro. You know, when I was doing jiu-jitsu, I was doing it like, bro, like I wanted to do it for real. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to do it for real. I didn't want it to just, but I was younger and I was healthier. I went through the whole back thing that was, man, like one of the darkest periods of my life. And I appreciate you supporting me during that time the way you did. That like,
Yeah.
I love you forever for that, bro.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah. And so 2 years in, bro, I went to see a surgeon who looked at my images. Now, before I got my MRIs, I had 3 MRIs done, 2 on my back and 1 on my hip. And before I got any MRI, I knew I herniated a disc, right? I knew based on the symptoms, the feeling, I knew what it was. It was just how bad, right?
Yeah.
How bad is it herniated? How far is that material out? Because it feels like really bad, right? The inflammation was crazy. And, you know, a year in, bro, I was still really enduring, bro, and suffering. And it broke me mentally, bro. It did. It really broke me mentally. Fast forward, I don't want to get too much into all that tough stuff, but fast forward to another year, it's doing so much better.
Yeah.
Like after like 15 months, I started getting better fast. And I went to a surgeon because I wanted to get back on the mat, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm willing to still take steps backwards if it means, because like, bro, like in my mind, it's like, man, just let it go. Like, look at where you're back to. And it's like, nah, don't be a quitter, right? Don't be a quitter. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's always that battle of like, this is bad for you. No, you're just being a quitter.
Yeah.
Right. And and I'm torn. Long story short, the surgeon was images. I don't feel confident surgery would get you any better to where you've gotten yourself without surgery. And I was like, boom, done.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about going in through my front versus in through my back or my side, which I'd seen tons of surgeries and I'd never even heard of that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good now. And who wants to get surgery? It's scary, right?
Dude, once you get back surgery, you're in a bad place forever.
Yeah,
forever.
At least for now, right? I mean, there are you know, microdiscectomies and things like that people like, for example, Jeff Glover suffered with back stuff for a long time, finally got a microdiscectomy and he got his life back. So there are real success stories, but there's a lot of nightmare stories too, with or without surgery. But yeah, you definitely want to put it off as long as you can. So that's what I chose to do. And I did make a return to the mat. You're definitely never the same. Like, I would never roll with you again.
Come on now.
Never. I would never roll with you again unless, like, here's the deal. Like, I'm just gonna pass, bro. And that's how we're gonna go. And if I pass, we can keep going. But like, if you sweep me, we start over. Like, you don't get to be on me. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this. I'm a different round than I used to be.
No, it's not that. It's just the risk because of the weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the weight. Like,
not worth
the risk reward. No, it's not, because
that's, dude, when people start going for leg entanglements on me,
yeah,
get away from me. I get away from my, as soon as somebody gets a bite on the heel, I don't want to. We're not testing this at all. My knees.
Nah, bro. Nah, because what if you? Because for me, here's the thing: the whole point of martial arts, for me starting out and to this day, bro, it's for real life.
Yeah.
What if it's a big guy for real that I got to deal with? And like, bro, and here's the thing too. I already went. How many times have I rolled with you in my life and other big guys? Countless. Yeah. So I already did that shit, bro.
Yeah.
For me and my goals, I already did that shit. I know where my heart's at. I know where my skills are at, and I can up my skills through rolling with guys my size that I trust, that are experienced, and I can get better. And that was my new approach to jiu-jitsu, and also like staying in a more MMA focused mat environment because again, that's a little bit more based around my goals. As much as I love jiu-jitsu, it's like it's part of a fight, just like boxing is part of a fight.
Yeah.
And I just kind of redirected my martial arts journey. So funny thing happened. I'm demonstrating some jiu-jitsu for some guys at the gym, right? At a martial arts gym. These guys are kickboxers, right? And bro, I tore my shoulder.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
tore my
no.
shoulder, bro. And I didn't realize as it was happening. And then I rolled and I felt great. You know, I felt great.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, rolling white belt. So I felt super great about myself. Like,
Yeah.
but I was also rolling with more experienced guys, Bozzy. And I'll tell you what, Sodell is the real deal. Because I'm down here in South Florida. I'm a no stripe blue belt that's barely trained in the last 4 years. And guess what? It still works.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm a little bigger and stronger now. You know, I'm 175.
Yeah.
Been focused more on strength training to just build my body up because strength is important. And you know, back then I was 155 pounds, so I got 20 more pounds of muscle on me now. But yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It works still. It works still.
I've trained quite a few places. Man, I trained at Marcelo Garcia's. I trained at Hodger Gracie's. And every time that I went, and that was back then when I was young blue belt, right? And like every time I would go and I would hold my own, and I would be like, wow, Sodell is legit. Like, and then I would train with other like local gyms and like closer by, and I would train with man, and they're getting smushed. You know, they're getting beat up on, and every time I would go somewhere else, I would remember like how much I've learned at that place. And the thing is, like, there's probably better gyms maybe like to instruct you technically maybe, but like that's a wolf pack in there. Like that is a wolf pit. Like that, like those guys in there, like you're gonna learn how to survive with big strong guys with skill who are they're gonna train hard.
You're gonna get experience, bro. You're gonna get real experience. And that's oh man, this charger sucks. Give me 1 second here to fix this charger. You're gonna get good experience, bro, if you can survive that shit. If you can survive that shit for long enough, you're gonna get and that's why I just, you know, tomorrow's promised to no man, and I think that was another reason I just tried to cram it as much as I could, and I did, Bozzy. Like I was in there a lot, and no regrets, bro. No regrets. One of the best things, one of the best decisions of my life. So also just like in a different like martial art mat environment, just like not giving a shit about like ranks or belts or anything.
Yeah.
And taking that out of it, like for my own mind, because here's the thing too, bro. Like we all want to be recognized for our achievements. And the belt rankings, like especially like, bro, to get promoted to any color belt under Jordan Geyer, like
that means something.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, bro. Because if you've trained there, bro, you know what I'm saying.
If Jordan was in a city with you know, a lot of guys to pull from and not in Rehoboth Beach, the world would know his name. You know what I mean? Like if he wasn't in a small town, like people would hear that name and be like, oh, you know what I mean? But
there's a lot of truth to like him if he was able to pull from a lot of higher level guys.
If he was in New York, I mean, like the world would know, you know.
Well, the other side to that though, bro, is because he got to use so many lower level guys in a live setting. I think that was like crazy beneficial to him too, because you still have a live body that can only resist so much.
Something on you,
and you can, yeah, bro. He's not really training with you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's using you.
You're a grappling dummy to him.
Yeah, but you're better than a grappling dummy because you're alive. And so like when you're a black belt and you got a room full of blue belts and they're good blue belts, like dude, you're getting gains, bro.
Yeah,
and you're doing that twice a day, every day. You know?
Yeah, training 10 times a week, you know?
Yeah, and then you're getting your tougher rounds with certain guys and stuff. But yeah, one of the best decisions I ever made. And going through this now, so this is like not good right now, right? It's not good. Yeah, it's definitely torn.
For it?
I got to get the images done to confirm what I think, which is definitely partially tore a tendon in there, and I can function, right? But if I want to return to a sport with any level of intensity, Bozzy, I'm 33. I still got good years in me. I still not so much like care about competing, but I want to be in the practice room still, bro.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm not letting that go yet. And going through the back thing mentally prepared me where this is just not as it's not as intense, it's not as big of a deal. It's just like I don't get to go do certain things. And guess what? Here's the thing, bro. I got so much shit to do, right? I got so much shit to do that, like, go do that shit then, bro. Like, there's so much stuff that you say you want to do that you're supposed to be doing that have nothing to do with your shoulder. So why don't you go ahead and dial in, and then you don't come back empty-handed? And I did that with jiu-jitsu too. I'm like, yo, if I ever make it back to jiu-jitsu as a martial artist, I don't want to come back empty-handed. So I went and just committed myself to boxing again. And guess what, bro? I'm self-employed the last 5 months, and teaching boxing lessons pays all my bills.
Really? Dude,
yeah.
Dude, congrats.
And my bills are fucking high here.
Oh yeah, that's not cheap to live down there, you know?
Yeah. So
that's awesome. I was wondering like what you were doing for work down there.
Yeah, that's my main gig. And then I got like real into the AI space. And
what do you do with that?
So like AI coaching for businesses.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like coaching / consulting for businesses, teaching them, or like
how to use it, like how
to leverage it to basically, 10x yourself, save yourself a bunch of time. And then like I do like demonstrations, and it's like I'm showing them how to do their shit way faster than what they're doing it. And I don't even know shit about their shit, but then suddenly I know everything about it because of AI, and I put a showcase together, I put a demo together, I create a program service, and by the end of the demo, mind's blown because it's proof in the demo, right? Like, check this out. I have no boxing matches, right? So why would you pay me for boxing, right? I'm 0-0. I don't even have a sanctioned amateur bout, right? Why on earth would someone pay me good money to teach them boxing? Well, it's because I can show you better than I can tell you, right? And it's not just like people that have never trained before, bro. Like, there's fighters that hit me up too for training. So it's like, unless you're like really like over 10 fight amateur who's in the gym all day every day, bro, like I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds in the gym, in the ring, and I've been in there with I got videos of me with guys that just beat the #1 ranked amateur in the whole country this past weekend in the Olympic qualifiers. So yeah, so it's like all that experience is still real.
Would you ever take a boxing match?
Probably not, just because I've been knocked out in the gym, like, and then like I've been in so many like gym, like imagine jiu-jitsu just boxing, but you're in the gym.
Oh yeah.
And instead of us all rolling at one time, only 2 of us roll at a time, and everyone watches, and it just amps it up even more.
Yeah.
And that's like every Tuesday, sometimes twice a week, right?
Yeah.
So I committed to that. And then outside of that, the cool thing about striking martial arts is, bro, you can train alone and get better because you can drill. You can drill. You can also study film and drill based off what you study. A lot of it's conditioning.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So anyway, like not coming back to grappling completely empty-handed and then kind of falling in love with the boxing with the footwork. Like, bro, like people think, oh, I got hands. It's like, bro, like your hands are only like 10% of boxing, bro. It's your feet, it's your hips, it's your head, it's your shoulders. The last thing that happens is your hand.
I've been trying to figure out okay, so I have this knee surgery in 2 weeks, just January 2nd, and you know, ACL reconstruction. It's going to be a major surgery, and I've been trying to like decide on if I'm going to go back to jiu-jitsu. This is my second knee surgery from jiu-jitsu, and the third pretty major injury. Like I had another like torn LCL, which I probably should have had.
Yeah.
Looked at, that was messed up for a while, but apparently LCL is vascular, that heals on its own. But so I've been like debating. It's like, am I going to go back on the mats? But I need to scratch that itch for violence. Like I need to, you know, I need to feel that in my life. And I, like not having done that for the last 5 months has been bad. I'm not okay. You know, like there's just, man, I just didn't realize what that did for me. Like just as a pressure valve.
The heavy bag is therapeutic, bro. But learning how to get the most out of the heavy bag, right? Because you don't want to just go down and just hit the heavy bag. Let's say like you got a basement, you got a heavy bag in your basement. Like, so that's what I sell, right? Because I don't sell, like I work with fighters that fight, but like they don't pay, you know? Because it's also a good experience for me too, to work with higher level guys as a teacher. But what I sell is, listen, you know, because I sell personal training too, but what about guys, they're already in shape? And it's like, well, listen, I
want to learn how to box. How do I box?
Have you ever boxed before I teach boxing? You know, I'll give you a free lesson, and then they do it, and they just like, you know how you think you can fight, and then you roll in jiu-jitsu, and you're like, wow, fucking, I suck so bad.
And this 140-pound computer programmer makes you his bitch.
Yeah, and so it's like the same thing, but like I don't put my hands on them. But when I demonstrate just the most basic moves, I'm like, okay, it's like this, and then they try to do it, and it looks so fucked up, right? And you know, we get through the hour, and you know that whole pads and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna teach you how to practice. I'm gonna teach you how to work this into the routine. I'm gonna teach you how to use the heavy bag, how to shadow box. I'm gonna teach you how to train, because you're going to train on your own. I'm going to teach you how to train.
Yeah. That's the sweet. That's got to be awesome. Because that's the bummer thing about jiu-jitsu is you can't do that on your own. I mean, there's very little that you can do on your own.
There's nothing you can do on your own besides watch film.
Watch film and shrimp around your living room.
Or your wife in bed.
Yeah. It's funny. I drill on my son, you know, my little 5-year-old. And it's so, you know, I told you earlier that I have a son with autism, and if anybody's out there who's listening who has like a son with autism or like has a family member that's like, you'll know that they learn things differently. You know, like their mind just operates on a different plane. And I've been, and like one of the things that haunts you about that shit is you know, as a parent, like you gotta like prepare your kid. Like your whole goal as a parent is to prepare your child to live without you. You know, like to send them out into the world. You know, and when you have a son, like a kid with disability, like I don't say disability, but you have a kid with special needs, like that is amplified tenfold, and that anxiety just eats at you, gnaws at you every single day, and everything you do is like, oh my God, you know, he's so far behind. How is he ever going to live without me, you know? Like I can never die, you know? So, but he likes to wrestle. He likes to grapple. He likes to feel the pressure. And that's the thing with the autistic is they feel like they have like these sensory needs where they need to, they like pressure and they like feeling you on top of them. They like weighted blankets and compression and things like that. So anyway, like since he's been a baby, I'll get on top and I'll sort of encourage him to escape from side control. Right. You know, and his natural instincts are so interesting because they're so correct. He builds a frame, he brings the leg in and he pushes away. And I'm like, oh hey kid, I see you. And now he's getting older, and now he's 5, and like all the time. And now he just like runs at me and goes jiu-jitsu, you know, and just like attacks me and shit. And it's so fun. So it's funny going back to like not being able to like drill, like be able to train without somebody. I've trained with him like all the time. Like we get on the ground and I like go through little guard passes. Now he's getting big enough. I don't put weight on him, but he's, you know, I can feel where his
you're still thinking jujitsu, bro. You're
yeah,
still keeping those neural pathways open. And that's another thing I did. I spent a year not training, and I spent a year and a half no jujitsu. Almost like 2 years no jiu-jitsu, because I would start testing myself out and I'd roll like a little bit for like 2 minutes and then be like, all right, that's enough. And like, let's see if I got away with it. And I did. And I'm like, we're not so fragile anymore. We got a little durability back, you know? And then I'd keep trying that and I'd push it a little bit more, push it a little bit more. And then I realized I've reached the point that I prayed for where I could grapple if I had to, and I'll be okay.
When you train, how much do you think about when you grapple, at least? How much do you think about structure and posture?
Yeah. So when I wasn't training, I would literally, like a song, go through every single move I knew in my brain, like a song. Like, because if you don't recite a long song enough, you forget the words to the song, right? And I wanted to delay for as long as possible the forgetting of the moves in my own brain, to where like I can't see them. And I have forgotten a lot. Here's the thing though. When the song comes on and you start singing the words, even if the lyrics aren't included in the song and you can only hear the music, you say the words with the music and all of a sudden you remember the next word.
Yeah. It's funny.
That was my experience with my return, bro, was that like, oh yeah, I can also do this too. And I can do this. And I'm like, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, yeah, I remember how to do a dart stroke. That's right. You know, absolutely. That's interesting. It's interesting to say that.
But the setups and stuff too, like there's
what, like, thinking about training with longevity and training safely and training, like you were talking about, like picking the right partners and stuff. One thing, because I had some back stuff too that tweaked up. And like one thing that I did is I was constantly thinking about like what is my posture right now? Like what is my spine doing? Like am I all rounded over in this fucked up guard? And if I was, I would instantly try to get back into a neutral spine. And that's one of those things that I learned from weightlifting and from CrossFit was I have a really good body awareness of like what good positioning is in my joints. Does that like ever like go through your mind like as
100%.
you're training? Like
100%. But before it was anything for the tap, Bozzy. You know what I'm saying? Before it was like anything for the tap. This is jiu-jitsu. This is the way it is. I want to finish, you know, just like hyper competitive mindset. I'm competing with everyone all the time. And that was the culture of that gym. And it triggered me, you know, like if you sit around, you're a bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you don't roll with Bozzy, you're a bitch. If you don't roll with Ryan, you're a bitch. Everyone looks at you like a bitch, you know? And like the way I am, I'm gonna not be a bitch, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even if it means get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, now if I ever get a chance to go again, I'm still thankful for that type of experience, but I would never go that I couldn't go that route again. You know what I'm saying?
That competitiveness is a gift and a curse. You know, it's a gift to your mind, it's a curse to your body, you know, like
to your body.
You know, and some people somehow tolerate it better than others. You know, I don't know. Like there's some bodies that can
that's a real thing.
There's guys in there that like they train that hard at that level and they have for years and they didn't get beat up. Like we like my body did not hold up underneath of it, you know, and yours didn't hold up underneath of it, you know, and like but there's some people whose body does, and I don't know if that's luck, if that's you know, you were born with the right, you know, biomechanics. I don't know, like what the.
I think it's a combination of a few things. I think that, you know, have you ever seen the movie Unbreakable?
No.
Okay, so there's a character named Mr. Glass, and his bones break like 5 times easier than the average person.
Oh.
So he goes on basically a kill, and he's really into comics, right? And then he starts like going and setting up these catastrophe things like trains crashing and bombs and shit. Go ahead.
Hold on for 1 second. My wife's calling me. Can I?
Go ahead. I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, I'll take a second.
All right.
Hey, my bad.
Oh, you good? I really had to use the bathroom anyway. And I'll just I don't know. I'll see if I can slice this out. Sometimes it goes really slow when the videos are long and I upload them and it just the editing acts really stupid. So otherwise people can just fast forward over that part.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all good. But so in the movie, right, Unbreakable, Samuel Jackson plays Mr. Glass, and then you got Bruce Willis. And so Mr. Glass, he's like, if I exist, right, I have this disorder. Let's think about it. If your bones are breaking that easy, you go to the hospital, they're like, oh, you have, XYZ disorder. That's why your bones break so easy. Well, if your bones were 5 times less likely to break than the average person, you wouldn't go to the hospital and get labeled with a disorder.
right.
But here's the thing, Bozzy, is if there's a person with a disorder where their bones are that much more fragile than the average person, then there must be the opposite of that somewhere.
Yeah.
There must be, because that's how it works.
Yeah.
That is exactly how it works.
Somebody's ligaments are just way stronger than mine.
And so I think that's part of it, bro, is that, yeah, some people are put together different, built different, and they're able to absorb and endure. Durability is an attribute, and we can do things to, I think that through lifestyle, there's things we can do to slightly alter our own DNA. I kind of believe in that. But NFL players are super people. UFC fighters are super people. And then they have a super mindset that goes behind it. And then you have the best people in the world. And if you notice too, for example, not only is Usain Bolt the fastest man on the planet, he's the fastest man who's ever lived. Why is that? Right? As far as the records that we have, right? Yeah. And someone's gonna break his record, aren't they?
Someday somebody's gonna be faster than Usain Bolt.
Someday someone's gonna. Why though? Why wasn't someone already faster than him on record? Like, not only will someone be faster than him, someone will be faster than him in the next 10 years.
Maybe.
For sure. Because go look at the trend of records being broken.
Yeah. I wonder how far off the pace is. I feel like I read somewhere. Oh man, I wish I had my shit together for this one. But I feel like I read somewhere that Usain Bolt is still so far ahead of everyone that it's not even close. I could be wrong about that though.
But before him, there was someone else.
But you're right. You're right.
That was him.
I see what you're saying.
That
Somebody's
was so fast, so ahead of everyone else,
and then somebody's going to come along and be faster than that person.
blow them out.
You know, and that's just human evolution. That's just how it goes.
And that's the thing. So, so I think that applies all over. You know, that's my theory. You know, I support the unbreakable theory.
Oh, I love it. We'll get a study going on that.
And I don't think you or I are the most fragile either, right? Because don't you see the fragile people come in to the gym and they don't last, do they?
There's guys in there that have had more injuries than I have. That's for sure. More injuries than you have. You know, and they keep coming back for more. I love it.
Yeah, but not just that. Even in a traditional gym or CrossFit gym or strength training gym, where guys have to work 5 times as hard to get half the results of you or me, and then there's guys that we could follow their exact. We're never going to be like those guys because those guys are built different than us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's just the way it is. And it's all good. So kind of, you know, my identity was so wrapped up in physicality during that time. So having the time off, man, I just really came back around to what's really important in my life and what's my real purpose in life, and how can I really make an impact in the world and leave a footprint or a legacy. You know, martial arts are always going to be a part of my life till the day I die. Jiu-jitsu too, but you know, it's a part though, bro. It's a part now. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have values? I mean, do you have like how do I say this? Like distinct, like written down values that you kind of use as your North Star, like when you're making decisions? Like for one, my first and foremost is freedom. Like that's the one thing that I value the most in my life is my freedom. Like my ability to come and go as I please, my ability to you know, be there for my son whenever he needs. I get him off the bus, I pick him up from his therapies. So I have freedom of time, I have freedom of health, I have freedom of financial freedom, I have freedom of my job, like all of those things. Like that is like my number one thing, is like that's like my number one thing that I value, my number one like North Star. It's freedom. Like so like that's the thing that I think about the most every single day. It's kind of like on my mind, and that's what kind of like guides my decision making. You have like things like that are like your kind of like guiding principles that you like defined. Does that make sense?
That's a great question. So I'd like to say I'm very financially motivated, but it's not. It's that I'm very freedom motivated, and I just need the money to buy the freedom.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have, like, you asked me, have I been to the doctor? Yeah. No. But if I was making $100K a month, I would have already been there.
Yeah.
You see? So I don't want to have to worry about the cost of anything basic, as far as travel, as far as medical, as far as you know, living expenses. I'm not someone who's interested in materials. I'm interested in experiences, and they don't need to be luxurious. They need to be, I want them to be meaningful. And if you're financially free, you can get that.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely my biggest motivation, is the freedom. And for someone who, you know, spent 3 years incarcerated, I have a very high value for freedom. But I think also that freedom is a mindset, because if you're incarcerated doing time, it is true they can lock up your body, but you can keep your mind free. But dude, that takes a lot of training too. And when I went through the back injury, it's like my mind was trapped too by the pain. You see what I'm saying? So it's still, you can have financial freedom and all those things, but you got to be able to free your mind from. That's why it's important to continue to subject yourself to difficult things and uncomfortable things and experiences too, because then you can get trapped in like softness, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're so hypersensitive to anything that's not ideal.
Yeah, right. Does I want to pick your brain about something for a second. Does the experience of like going to jail, does that, I would imagine that changes you that changes you forever, right? Like, does it the meaning of it change over time? Like, you still learn things from that experience, or like, did you learn things from that experience aside from don't break the law? Like learn things about yourself, learn things about the world. Does it shape the way that you, I don't know, even have dinner with your wife? I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but like, I'm just curious. Like, that experience has got to like mold a person beyond ways that are like recognizable to me, who's never been there. Like that's a crazy fucking experience. You know what I mean?
It was crazy. And for me, 100%. For other people, no. That's why they just go back, because they just don't change. And the recidivism rate in the United States is 75%. So if you go to jail, 75% chance you go back.
Why? What, like, to me,
Because it's a big business. Prisons are privately owned institutions.
like, what is the motivation to somebody to go back to prison? To, like, I would think that, like, man, if I fucked up and I, whatever, stole a car or did something like I would do everything in my power for the rest of my life to never go back to jail. That just seems like the worst place on earth to me. Like,
here's the thing, it's the mindset. I could talk to someone who I knew from the streets, or I could talk to someone who I knew from being in there and they're out, and I could ask them how they're doing. And this answer is going to give you full perspective. And they say, I'm just staying out of trouble.
yeah.
That's what you're doing out here, bro. You're just staying out of trouble, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're going to get back in trouble again, because you're just staying out of trouble, bro. You're not going so far the other way.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? For me, it was go so far the other way from trouble.
That's what I would do. Like, that would be my.
I know that, of course, that's what you would do.
That would be my mindset. I'm like, I am never going back to that. Like, like, I will, be a model fucking citizen to, like, never go back to being in a fucking cage.
Yeah, but you have to, number one, you have to hate that experience in a way that it's something that, like, you don't ever need to go experience that again. Number two, it's very easy, because I did go back again, right? And it was really bogus, but it's a lot easier to go back than what you would think. It's a lot easier to go back, because I went back twice. I did 9 months, and then I did 2 years. So I did 9 months, I came home for 9 months, and then I did 2 years. And then I came home for like a year, and then I had to go 3 days up in Chester. And so it's very easy to end up, given the right circumstances, bro. Anybody can be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Given the right circumstances, anybody can end up in a situation that they act in a way that they didn't know they had the capacity to act.
Yeah.
And it's about spotting that shit, bro. Like, this is no good. You guys are no good. Maybe you guys are cool, but those guys that you're with are no good. And you know what? In fighting, whoever manages the distance manages the damage. And so being able to recognize, I need to make space between me and this environment, or me and these people, or me and this way of thinking. I caught on to all that shit pretty early on, and I made a change. And I'll tell you something too. I never ever would have got into or had the level of commitment. I was always competitive, but bro, I think I would have been a musician or something. I don't think I would have done all the fight shit, the jiu-jitsu shit. I think I would have got hurt once or twice, beat up, and I would have just quit and went and worked out, because I wouldn't have had a why. Like, I'd pull up, I'd see who's going to be on the mat today, or I'd see who's going to be at the gym today, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Right? Or I'd ride home from boxing with a headache, and I can't sleep because I got such a headache, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And if you don't have a real solid answer, you're not going to do it, bro.
I'm going to keep at it.
But I was dealing with real self-hate, self-resentment, lack of self-worth, and I'm like, I need to prove to myself that I'm not what those people in jail said I am.
Is that an ongoing process for you?
I'm over it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over it now because I put the work in, and I reached the point, because I remember, like, until I felt like I could confidently stand up to anyone who came at me in a hostile way, until I felt like I could stand up to them and give myself a real chance, I'm like, it's not enough. By the time I finally hit that point, now I'm hooked though. You see?
Yeah, because it's a lot of fun.
So the starting why got me to that point, but then the why changed, and it wasn't about that anymore. I could care less about all that shit. Now I'm looking at these guys and this and competition and trying to make it to this event and all that stuff. And that's the way I started to see it then. But another thing is with the, like, if I didn't go through the jail shit, bro, like, you're just sitting in there knowing you're missing out. So you're missing out, you're missing out, you're missing out. And then you also were missing out doing everything you were doing when you were spending time doing things that got you locked up in the first place. So how many years did you really miss out on? And I felt like I'm trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
You know?
That's got to be a recipe for living life to the fullest.
For sure. I've had a super exciting life.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, my life's been incredibly exciting. It's never been boring at all.
No, no. From what I know about you, I mean, just like how you met your wife. You told me that story once. That's a crazy story. And like how, like, and then now you and her are down in Florida. Like, that's a crazy story. You know, going to jail. That's a crazy. You got a million of these things, dude.
Yeah.
You got a wild story, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna make some more. They're gonna be good ones though. And I you know, I hope the hardest part of my life from poor decision making is over, and that anything else difficult that I go through is, you know, a conscious decision so that I can continue to grow.
Yeah.
So for sure. And that's where I'm at, right? Because I'm 33 now, and you know, I realize a lot of things, and I think every 5 years, like, you're kind of a different person if you're focused on growth.
I agree with that. I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking it's like every 3 to 5 years. Because I was thinking about the person that I am right now. I was thinking about my goals and my, you know, I've been like fitness focused forever. Like that, and like it was like the goal was just, you know, converting, you know, a steak into pounds. You know what I mean? Like, and that was it. You know, converting oxygen to CO2 at the most efficient rate possible. That was all I was, you know. But now I think about like the epochs of that, and like when I found it, and just being 100% focused on it, to being competitive with it, to like fighting off injuries, to having a son, and like, and now all of a sudden, like all of that stuff is like that whole like fight for fitness for me is it's about freedom. It's about being prepared and being free to do anything that I want to do at any given moment. If my car breaks down and I need to run 5 miles to save my kid's life, I want to be able to do that. If I need to fight off a dude at the gas station who's trying to kidnap my kid, I'm going to be able to do that.
Isn't it crazy you can do that with a torn ACL right now?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Think about that, right? Like, my shoulder's fucked up, but dude, like, unless you're legit, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I pulled 500 pounds on Saturday with a torn ACL.
See what I'm saying? And that's you're such a small percent of people. And it just comes from years and years and years where it's like there's no, you don't stop. You don't stop. You find a way around it, you know. You don't go through it though. You learn how to go around shit more now, right? Than just trying to just barrel through and then you're worthless. That was a big learning experience. Bro, I want to come back to talking about your son, because you were writing, I don't know what you would call those chapters that you were writing. Manifestos?
I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, they were really beautiful, and I read every single one when you were writing those. And I'm
gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
So just to like give some background. So April is Autism Awareness Month, right? And like we had gotten that diagnosis in October. I think it was like the October prior to that. And I spent 6 months stewing on it. And having a kid with autism is like having a kid with special needs in general. And I think that anybody who has a kid with special needs, and they want to be a good parent, like that's like their goals. They want to be the good dad. That's my identity now. My identity is like being a good dad. Like that's all I'm interested in the moment. Like my business sustains that, my fitness sustains that. Like all of those things are ancillary to being a good dad. Anyway, but like having a kid with special needs is almost like having this is going to sound bad, but I'm just going to be very honest about it. It's like your kid died. It's like these dreams of having, like, of walking your daughter down the aisle, or like teaching your kid to play baseball, or like, teach, like going to whatever, soccer practice, football practice, or wrestling practice, or like teach them how to play an instrument, or traveling with them. All of these things that, like, all of these, like these dreams that you had as a parent die, because all of a sudden you're looking at, and it's like he's 5 years old and he's fucking shitting on the walls. You know what I mean? Like there's these like really hard things that you have to constantly like battle with, the fact that like I'm going to be responsible for this little guy forever, and I'm going to have to figure out how to give him the best life. But then all of a sudden, like, all of your friends are like, like they bring their kid over, your little kid, their son's talking to you, and you're having a conversation with them, and like, you're seeing what your niece is learning in school, and you're realizing you're not getting that. You're not getting that. And like, it is the hardest thing to manage. So I went through and I wrote, and I didn't really know what I was writing. I had no idea. Every day I would just sit down and I would just like get out what was on my mind. And it's interesting. It was almost like therapy with myself for the, and I just like gave it to the masses. And there's nothing that has helped me come to grips with that more than that little project. And it was like, you're just talking it through. And a lot of it was just accepting it myself. Like, okay, this is what we're doing now. This is my life, and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give this little guy the best life that I possibly can for the rest of his life, for the rest of my life. And you settle into it, and you start to realize that, like, it's not a whole lot different. And like, the whole theme of it was different, not less. Like, my son is different than yours, but he's not less than. And that's what the more I would talk through it, the more I would realize that, like, I'm trying to think of like a good example at the moment, but like every kid, every little boy goes through this little phase of like hitting, he hits back because he doesn't like, you say you can't have the candy and he hits you, like, and I was like, oh no, only mine does that. And then the more I realized, like, no, he might express it differently than somebody else's, but it's not less than, it's not worse than, if that makes any sense. He's having trouble eating. Kids with autism, they have this crazy food avoidant thing where they
textures and stuff.
Yeah, it's a sensory disorder. It's a disorder of your senses. I mean, it's like your wires are crossed. It's like, your smell, wires, the red wire gets plugged into the yellow hole instead of it, where it needs to be. And he has a very tactile hypersensitivity. And I'll be like, oh, he's a picky eater. Oh my gosh, life's so hard. Then the more I realize, like, oh, no. Every kid's a picky eater. You know what I mean? And the more that I wrote, like, the more that I came to terms with it. The more it was like the most, I would say the most therapeutic thing that I did, and I would encourage anybody who's going through something like that is to just sit down with your thoughts and write them and put them out on paper, and like, be honest with yourself. And be honest about your feelings, and don't feel bad for, like, I don't know, for going through some shit and trying to like make sense of it all and like feeling the way that you feel, because I was fucked up about it, man. I was not okay for a long time, and you still go through waves of it.
I saw you change through the writings.
Yeah, yeah, I did change. I did change.
Like the writings changed from the first one to the last one.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. And it's funny, I'm not going back. I didn't read the comments. I didn't hardly like people would reach out about it, and it got a lot of traction. A lot of people, I still have people come up to me and talk to me about it.
Bro, they were like really profound.
And like, it's funny, the next year, I thought I should do that again. And I started to, but I realized that like the thoughts were still developing. Like like I still had to like unpack some stuff. And like that's a long, complicated stream of consciousness to get out of the paper. And I think I just procrastinated it. I think I just like let the resistance win. And it's something that's going to happen again very soon. Is like it's funny. I've thought about having a podcast about it. I've thought about, but I think I'm just much better with writing. I think I'm much better being able to sit down and hit backspace on thoughts. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that really piques my curiosity. I wish I had like a link for somebody to read it, but I don't.
I think starting a blog would be really cool for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that you speak very well, and I think that so I write better than I speak, for sure. But speaking is powerful and impactful too. And
I think people are likely to take in the content if it's spoken. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think people are like kind of lazy. I don't think people want to read much anymore.
No, they don't, because it's too slow.
Yeah, they need TikTok.
Yeah, and I caught on to that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start podcasting.
Yeah.
And also, bro, for myself, so that I can come back and reference conversations that I've had with people too.
I would just enjoy having conversations with people. I would just enjoy, like,
I love it.
It's like a social hour every day, you know?
It's actually an excuse to get people to talk to me anyway.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
You know, like I get to talk to Bozzy today about whatever.
I love it. I love it. How long have you been doing the podcast now?
A week.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. You're
Am I guest like number 3?
number 3.
Am I really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it.
That's number 3. And
what's your vision for it?
So, you know, I'm just starting off. Try to do two a week, but I want to give you an answer on that. I just want to wrap up this thing, because this is one of the something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I'm telling you, man, like I really took so much from those manifestos, and I wanted to ask you one question. So I don't want to say you going through that, because when you described it as it's like your kid dies, it like I hear trauma, right? And everyone's got trauma.
Hell yeah.
You know? And I think that God gives us all. I mean, like, we're so fortunate over here to be living in the United States, right? Like, I don't need to talk about what it's like in North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or what it's like in 90% of the rest of the world, and how most people just live a life of suffering. And that's why I just like refer to my life as exciting. Because did I have to endure a lot? Sure. But I so what? You know what I mean? Like, so what? I would just use that to encourage others. But one thing that has helped my wife and I get through a lot of just like crazy shit is just humor, bro. Like when life becomes so ridiculous, like when you have such a ridiculous day, bro, like shit all over the wall.
Yeah.
Like, can you laugh when you walk in and see shit all over the wall? Can you just like
look, the conversations that me and my wife have about it are like, I think the world might think less of me. Like,
that's good.
Like
that's great.
Those conversations can't get published.
No, but I'm glad to hear that though.
child social services would take our child if they heard us talk. But we laugh, you know, we're just, that's our way of dealing with it. Exactly.
You
Like,
have to, bro.
you
I'm
either
so
laugh
glad to hear
about it,
that.
you laugh about it, you cry about it, man. And we've had days where we cried about it, you know, like, you know, like where that is the only option. But like most times now that we've gotten our feet settled into it, now we just laugh about it. Okay, for instance, I got a funny story for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jack loves water towers. And for everyone, my son's name is Jack. Jack loves water towers. Okay. He's fascinated by them. We go every day. I pick him up from therapy. It's ABA. It's like applied behavioral analysis. Am I getting that right? I don't know. But it's like a behavioral therapy for specifically for kids on the autism spectrum. And he goes to this 3 days a week, all day long. And they've done amazing things for him. But that's another conversation. So every day I pick him up. We go see this water tower. Okay, it's close by, and it's the only one that's not like that I have found locally that's not fenced off. You can walk up to it and touch it. And Jack loves it. He likes the texture of the painted metal, and he rubs on it, and he looks up at it like this, and he likes to see, you know, and he like smiles while he does it. And then there's another one that's kind of close to home, and that we'll go see. But the one close to the therapy center is his favorite. Okay, big white water tower, he calls it. So anyway, he starts to shape it out of Play-Doh. He wants to make this water tower out of Play-Doh. Except the physics of Play-Doh don't exactly allow for it to make a
nah,
good.
They don't.
So we just have these Play-Doh dicks all over our house right now.
That is great.
There's just these. They're everywhere. There's like 3 of them all over my house.
Oh my gosh!
And
different colors.
Different colors. Black ones, small ones,
big ones, small ones, skinny ones,
small ones, veiny ones.
Great.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's so ridiculous. He started that, and we're just like looking at it like, oh boy. But it's hilarious. So anyway, to answer your question, yes, we laugh about it all the time.
So I don't know if you've been watching Steven. You know Steven?
Steven.
Steven Super Flexible.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just crushing it.
I love that.
Right?
There's not many people on earth that I like more than that guy.
Well, he's autistic.
Yeah, I learned that
late.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too, late. I also learned about autism itself late. Also learned about the spectrum very late. And I wish I would have learned sooner, because I would have been able to be a much better friend and a much better, just treated certain people just better and been able to connect with them better.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know where he falls on the spectrum, but you know, obviously we relate to finding that out, and then it's like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. And I'm gonna have him see if I don't know if he'll come on. I hope he does. I'm gonna shoot him an invite because I'd like to talk to him too. But he's killing it.
I love that guy. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. You can tell that he doesn't understand. I don't know how to say this. His social compass is off. You know, where I mean, but that's a big part of it. Is you just don't get the like social overtures. You know, those things just don't kind of like, it's hard for you to wrap your head around them. Which is hard for me to wrap my head around that. You know, because I'm an extrovert. I love to talk. I love to go out, and like that's another thing that's been super hard is like not being able to go out and have a social life. But I digress. Going back to Stephen a little bit. I'll make certain jokes or I'll say little things, and he'll like look at me and like, okay. You can tell he just doesn't get it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's all good, dude. So, but no, I like the whole thing is now is the best time there ever has been to have a kid with autism, and it's gonna keep getting better and better as they research. There's so much research that's coming out about the origins of it and the mechanics of it in the brain and like the neurochemistry and stuff like that. And I'm certainly no neuroscience, but I'm learning more and more about it, and the role of hormones and neurotransmitters and all of these things that like happen, and like the role of trauma in utero, and like all, like there's so much good science about it. There's actually right now there's a study going on. Okay, so like one of the things that kids on the autism spectrum lack is, and I somebody out there will correct me on this, I'm gonna butcher this a little bit, but like there's a lack of oxytocin and vasopressin, which are like more or less their social are they hormones or are they neurotransmitters? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, and there's a study right now that's going on with psilocybin and like kids on the autism spectrum, you know, and which is kind of a crazy thing to
It is. You ever tried it?
Yeah. Oh, I love mushrooms.
Isn't that great?
Mushrooms are amazing.
I'm new to that too, and it's just great.
Yeah. I started messing with them a couple years ago. And I could go off on a tangent on this too. I don't microdose, but I don't like macrodose either. Like I like a lot of like a half a gram on a sunny afternoon.
Hell yeah.
What a day.
Even a whole one.
Yeah, like what a day. Yeah.
We're not over that. Not over that, because then it's like gets a little too fuzzy. It's like, hold up.
Yeah. No. You don't want to. I don't need the walls to move. I just want the sky to be a little bit bluer and the grass.
Man, for your mood. I mean, dude, that with caffeine, I'm just like, I'm smiling. Like I'm in a great mood.
I like to lay in my hammock and just like look up at the trees. Like, what a day.
But I still feel clear.
Yeah.
Like weed like fogs you out, you know?
It
like
does.
you can get creative, and you know, I don't know if you remember, I used to come into Sodell like lit.
Oh yeah.
And that was stupid. Like that was stupid. Two things: you shouldn't work out intensely on it because you can have a heart attack. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really bad to do.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if you can do like a little light drilling session or something, or a light workout, but to go into the gym and try to do some intense workout while you're high, you can like, it's not good. No. And it makes you more tired. But I think it definitely, like in a flow state, weed can like definitely help you tap into flow states with music or martial arts or dancing. I
find that mind muscle connection to be
it's pretty awesome.
Really, really amazing with weed. And I don't smoke very often anymore. I just, like you said, it fogs you out too much, and like it also like it kind of makes me depressed, to be honest with you. I mean, it kind of brings you down so much. I mean,
you feel bad about a lot of shit.
Yeah. And it's cool once. I like it maybe once a week or so, but like, man, I used to smoke way too much, but I'll say this. I used to do weightlifting, like Olympic weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to the gym, and the gym's about a mile from my house, and I'd eat like a 50 milligram gummy, right? And like I would,
that's going hard.
I'm going for it. And I would go in there, and it would kick in, and I would start, and I would just like grab the bar, and I would just like I'm just gonna lift the bar, just an empty bar, and I would just go through the the movements of the snatch and the clean and jerk, and I would spend a long time just like feeling out the movements and feeling out the mechanics of it, and turns out like there was quite a few nights where like the empty bar turned into me snatching my PR, my best weight ever. And I snatched my PR 275 on a 50 milligram.
Wow.
Yeah. Which like
dialed in.
Yeah, a 275 snatch is like a legit. It's like I think that's like the line to a legit snatch. You know?
It is. I never snatched shit in my life besides like kettlebells.
Yeah.
But you know, I used to have a good friend who was also on the spectrum that I didn't understand at the time, Hans, right?
Yeah.
On the spectrum. And
Hans is a great example of it.
Yeah, we had a falling out, but then we reconnected, and part of the like we reconnected in not like not that we're friends, but it was just like I want it to be good. You get what I'm saying? I want us to be on a good note.
I don't like having beef with nobody.
No. I want you to know that, bro, it's nothing but love over here for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it really isn't. And you know, if you care about a relationship, it's important for people to understand, like, listen, this is how you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I forgive you whether you're sorry or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm moving forward, and I need to be able to forgive so that I can have peace. So whether or not you're sorry or not doesn't matter for me to forgive you. You got to forgive people so you can have peace. You know what I'm saying? You got to let go so you can have peace. And also, not only do I forgive you whether you're sorry or not, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry because I didn't understand certain things about you, and I didn't put in the time or effort to understand, to be honest, either. And so yeah, so we're all good. But dude, you know, hell of an athlete. That guy snatching 285.
Got strong. Got strong.
285.
So
And he's long. Like the longer you are, I think it's harder too, right?
yeah, Hans is built weird. I don't know if that's the right word, but like he's light. You know, he doesn't weigh a lot. Like you look at him, he looks like that guy. If I saw him in the streets, I'd be like, that guy's 210. You know,
Yeah, no.
he's like 185. He's a big guy, but he's not a big guy. You know, he's not a super heavy guy, but strong as an ox. You know, like yeah. I mean, I know his best snatch was north of 300 pounds.
I saw 285. I don't know what he's done since then. That was a while ago.
Yeah. No, he's snatched over 300 pounds. Well, I don't want to say that for sure, but like I bet money that he snatched over 300.
But he is definitely, when it comes to throwing that barbell around, bro, like he's super impressive, especially like at his weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's nearly nationally competitive at his
and
weight.
he used to get lit too and go in there. So like that mind body connection, bro. Like
It's
I
real.
used to, you know, the Rehoboth Mall.
Yeah.
So dude, like I'd skate because you know, remember where I lived, right? Like across the street.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd skate across, I'd skate over, and I'd walk through the Rehoboth Mall to get to the gym in the back of Walmart, right?
What was that? Was that Life Fitness or
Everyone Fitness?
Everyone?
And you know, the Rehoboth Mall is like empty. There's nothing there. It's super tiny. All the stores are closed. But when you walk through the mall, do you know like that long little? There's like a bunch of mirrors.
Yeah.
So there's like all these mirrors. Like if you're walking.
Yeah.
And I'd skate over there, listening to music, blazing up. I'd get to that mall, put the joint out, go in that mall, look in the mirror, and dude, I'd shadow box for like an hour right there.
Yeah.
Before going into the gym. Because I'm lit, I got the music on, and I'm in the flow state, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in the flow state. And you know, again, that's the cool thing, bro, about boxing, about striking, is you're getting better right now by yourself, and it's therapy, bro.
Yeah,
It's therapy. You know, you're not getting the physical contact. That's and the physical contact you get from boxing is like not ideal. You know what I'm saying?
You don't gonna get in the head over and over again.
Yeah, and you're gonna if you're gonna do it. So that's just the way it is.
It's just funny. It's like going back to like earlier when we talked about. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to jiu-jitsu. I thought about going into trying some boxing.
Getting a heavy bag, bro. You get to a heavy bag downstairs. Yeah, you hire a boxing coach.
But I don't want to get hit in the head a bunch of times.
You don't have to. You don't have to, bro. You get a boxing teacher, instructor, coach. You see him one day a week. You learn how to train. You learn how to hit the bag, and you can go down there, bro, and rock out and be good. And it's like the closest thing that it's therapy, bro. Because when you're done, you leave it all on the bag, and you're done. And it's like, you know, nothing's gonna replace the physical contact. And that's the thing about jiu-jitsu, right? Is like you get to feel them. You know what I'm saying? And it's sustainable in the sense of no head trauma. You know what I mean? And Bozzy, if you do ever go back, I would just recommend say, hey, I got to do it on my terms.
Yeah.
Just truly leave the ego at the door, because none of us ever left the ego at the door there. You know what I'm saying? No, hell no. It's all the ego. Bring all your ego up in here.
The reason I hurt my knee, the reason I tore my ACL was ego. It was the end of it. And it's funny because I was doing very good at rolling without an ego, but it was the end of the day. It was the end of the rounds. And Sam, I don't know if you know Sam.
Yeah.
Sam,
Police,
you know, what's that?
Police officer?
No. Different. This is different Sam.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he's a concrete guy, okay? Like strong. He's probably like 5'10", 185. He's a strong guy. He's a good round. He's got some great technique, but he's also like got heavy pressure. I really like training with him. But he's a bulldog, you know. He fits in perfectly in that atmosphere of like a snake pit. You know, he wants to go hard and it goes hard, but like in a benevolent kind of way. Anyway.
Sure. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. I don't put any blame on this guy for my injury whatsoever. But anyway, he's Jordan calls it. Everybody's done. We're leaning against the wall. He's one of those guys that keeps training until he turns the lights out. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, you want to go one more?" And I was like, "No." Yeah, you know. And we go from the feet, and I go and I get a good deep underhook on him, and I like go to plant to get a throw. And he brought out one, you know, I think it's an ashi. I always get the Japanese names wrong, but an ashigarami where you hook both legs.
So ashigarami is like single leg X.
Okay, no.
You're probably talking about like a uchimata.
Uchimata, yeah. I never know the names of these things.
Yeah.
An uchimata where you get,
but with the underhook though,
a good deep underhook.
Yeah.
And you sweep both legs. Well, like I only got one leg, and I kind of planted on the throw leg, and just big pop of the ACL. But and it was, I knew it before I hit the ground. I knew what had happened. But anyway, that was ego. That was 100% ego. That was 100% me not wanting to. The more I debrief myself of that, that was me not wanting to look soft when somebody asked me to train.
I got to tell you this. This is important. The power of no is like the best.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go one more? Watch. Ready? No. Come on. No. Like I feel so good to say no because I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't get to get one more. I don't want to go one more. I do want to go one more, but I don't want to get hurt. I got away with this whole night tonight, and I'm going to come back. And if you're here when I come back, I'll go again. You know what I mean? So I'm saying no to the risk reward right now. I already, bro, if you're a trader in stocks, crypto, take money from the market, bro.
Yeah.
Take money. Don't get caught up in the greed.
It's funny. My trading I do. I manage my own accounts. I manage my own 401k, and my trading strategies are almost like guerrilla warfare now. I'm in and out. You know, I'm not long on anything. I'm not going to sit here and wait for another like 5%. It's like I have a goal for the year, and as soon as I hit my goal with that particular strategy, I'm going. I'm not sitting here waiting. You know, I'm not going to sit there and what's the old saying? Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot to that. So
yeah, bro.
Plus 8%, plus 10% is better than minus 25%. You know, trying to get an extra. No, this one's gonna go. This is gonna be a 10 bagger. You know, like no, it's not.
No, bro. You already you got a good night. And another thing too, when it comes to takedowns and grappling, we're gonna drill those, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going live takedowns unless you suck really bad and you're not a wrestler and you're not good at jiu-jitsu. Then sure, we can start at the feet. I'll just ankle pick you real quick, and that's like, dude, I've never drilled an ankle pick. And in my life, and recently when I was training, I was just ankle picking anybody I wanted anytime.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why don't you ankle pick them? It's like, I'm like, why don't you try it? And I just, dude, and I'm just hitting them on, I like just hit them at will. It was the craziest thing. I've never drilled it. It's the easiest move ever. Easiest takedown I've ever done.
It really is.
Oh my God.
Matt Travis, right? And Matt Travis is a bad.
I know.
Nobody else does, but he's a bad dude, and he didn't wrestle in school, but he learned wrestling by going to his kids' wrestling practices, and he's a natural. I wouldn't say natural grappler because he's worked really hard. Beast,
bro. He's really good. He's one of the better people up there.
He's got a lot
on the whole shore.
He's got talent mixed with hard work, mixed with the anti Mr. Glass. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know. So anyway, we were right before I hurt myself. We were training. And I hit him with an ankle pick. You know, we laughed about it. He was like, "Where'd you learn that?" I was like, "I don't know. I just did it."
You know what? A lot of the dude. You know what? It just also comes back to looking and paying attention. Like once you have a certain amount of muscle memory, bro, you can just learn from watching, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not looking at anything that you haven't really done before.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you try to go do it, it's like, it's, you know how to do it. It's just like different patterns and different combinations and different sequences of movements. But you know those movements though. You know the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like if you're like if you're a good blue belt, bro, you know the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
And those fundamentals you can be very creative with too. I mean, once you learn the idea of posts and frames and taking away structure, like you can kind of take those ideas and just start like, you know, doing jazz with it. You know what I mean? And just kind of riffing on guard passing and escapes and things like that. You're like, oh, I can feel his weight here. I'm going to grab this arm and I'm going to sweep him this way, you know? And like, that's not something that you learned, that you drilled. You just feel it, you know, like you can just, you know, like I recognize the deficits in his structure at the moment, and I'm going to take advantage of it, you know?
So I got a Muay Thai coach here, right? And this man is like, dude, a destroyer of worlds, bro. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
37 years old, been doing martial arts since he was 6. Started off in Taekwondo, got into Muay Thai way back. He's Miami native, right? So he's been like, this is like MMA Mecca down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, how many world champions are right down the road? So, you know, he trains with Thiago Alves. Like, dude, this guy's so good. And 30 years of martial arts with a combination of Taekwondo, Muay Thai, and Capoeira, right? And then like a little bit MMA, but he got hurt grappling, so he doesn't really grapple like that. But it's like, again, how much grappling goes into like an MMA match, right? Like, how much goes in? Like how many takedown attempts does it take for you to actually take me down when we're not punching each other in the face or kneeing each other in the body or kicking at a kicking range, right? How many submission attempts does it take to get submitted when the person isn't just escaping and then re-engaging in jiu-jitsu, when they're just escaping and standing back up? And what happens when they stand back up and they're really good, bro? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And this guy, like, obviously I'm not a wrestler, shitty takedowns, got a quick little ankle pick, could never take him down again. And when we spar like on the feet, it's like, bro, it's like I might as well never trained in my life, bro. Like, that's how far away, bro. It's like I might as well, like, same thing. Like if I was to go roll with Matt right now, like, dude, it's like I might as well never done jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might as well never done jiu-jitsu. But that's how it is with this guy. Like, the level of striking is just, dude, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And you're like, I would like to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? I would like to learn from you for sure, because wow, like that's something else that works. And bro, you can do it by yourself.
Have you trained with that guy?
It's my coach.
Oh, that's your coach. Oh, yeah. Oh man, what a
and he's a homie too, bro. Like, he's my boy.
Yeah, he's
a homie, bro. Yeah, cool as shit.
Dude, I'm jealous.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Like, that guy, dude. Like, he's one of the, like, dude, that dude's taken me out so many times, taking me to different gyms. Like, bro, like, bought me lunch. I don't know how many times. Like, this is so just amazing person, genuine person, authentic.
He's a bro.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Darwin Komodo, and he holds in-house kickboxing tournaments.
Komodo. That is the martial arts fucking name I've ever heard.
yeah. Darwin Jamarillo, but Komodo Training Center is his place, and he holds in-house kickboxing tournaments that are lit. Like, those things go crazy, bro.
That is like the most martial arts name of all time.
Dude, he's such a ninja, and he's like 200 pounds. He's like 5'7" with just gorilla trunk legs that he just, like, dude, I mean, those things are, and he's just whipping them at you anywhere at any angle, like his feet or hands, you know, and they can come snappy, they can come through with power. Like, the setups are crazy. His angles, his movement, clinch work, knees are like, dude, just absolute weapon. And so just getting
You
into
throw kicks?
do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I started training with him, and I'm like, you know, because it was always either I'm doing just jiu-jitsu or I'm doing just boxing. You know, go to Steve's MMA class a couple times, but it's like, listen, if you want to fight, like, you know, we can put the gloves on, you know, we can box. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to fight, to sort something out. If you want to like fight me and I don't want to fight you, and you're like a stranger or you're someone that's bigger and stronger than me, then jiu-jitsu saves me. That's my best chance. And it's the combination of the two. Like I use some boxing, boom, get a takedown. If I get on top of you, you don't know how to grapple, I win. You know what I mean? Take it back, choke them out. And so I never really, and because coming back to Delaware, bro, that was the other thing about Delaware, bro, is like, you got to drive so far to go do anything and go anywhere. Like there's nothing really going on there, bro. Like there's nothing really to do. That's why I got in trouble out there as a kid. Cause it was just like behind we didn't even get a Chick-fil-A until like what year? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the downside of it. Is you better be willing to drive. You better have time for the ride. You know, I mean, for me to go train jiu-jitsu, it's 50 minutes. You know, so
dude, I'm saying 50 minutes. Yeah. 50 minutes. You know how many jiu-jitsu schools around here?
You could probably walk to.
Dude, there's so many. There's so many, bro. And so anyway, so yeah, getting into the kickboxing like a year and a half ago and just being committed to learning that stuff and training that, because like I even got a taekwondo gi, bro, with the white belt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I'm the worst in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like
white belt mentality.
Yeah, but here's the cool thing though. After a little while, when it comes to the actual kickboxing part, you know how like a wrestler comes into jiu-jitsu, right? And you just triangle them, you just guillotine them, and you just rear naked choke them. But after after like 6 months, it's like, okay, but that wrestling now it's coming back into the play because they catch on.
Yeah.
Well, because of the boxing is still striking, I start to get a better understanding of it.
Such a baseline of movement and like touching you, you know, like it's not fair. You know, you're not a true white belt. You know, you're a real rusty blue belt.
So it comes back into play, and then also the guys there, like they like to work on their boxing too, so that like they're happy to like just do boxing rounds. I try to like not do that though, because that's not what I'm there for. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm there to do this. Like I want to get good at this. I need to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
kick somebody in the face.
But I hold pads for guys. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all just, bro. It's all just the journey and the experience that we love. Yeah. And I would definitely encourage you to you know, you're in Seaford, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely point you in the right direction. You could get a 1 time a week lesson and then just work on it, bro. And I'll tell you another thing too. With the internet, there's people that you can follow and subscribe to, bro. You can learn even offline, bro. Like you still should have like somewhere you go, but man, I'm telling you, you can learn a lot offline too with the strike. You just put the time in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the age we live in. You can learn anything on the internet. Everybody's in online class now.
Yeah. You can, and it's crazy. Like what's going on with AI right now is just absolutely insane.
I use ChatGPT all the time.
I do too, and I mean, you have the Plus, I'm sure, right?
No, I just have whatever the free one is.
So that's what's crazy, right? Is that is like saying I have a gym and all you have is like a treadmill.
Really?
Yeah, compared to the Plus.
Oh, wow. So
if you're using that only, you're not even really using ChatGPT. Like
really?
That's not, yeah, bro. Like that's not even ChatGPT at all.
I think of it as like Siri Plus. It's
like a dinosaur already.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude, you don't even know how crazy it is. That's what I'm telling you right now. Like, I mean, because I'm on it every day, and because like I feel like I'm in early on Bitcoin right now, and that's why I'm trying to I know the next 12 months because I'm jiu-jitsu reference week one white belt versus week one blue belt, right? It's like the blue belt might as well be a black belt, right? If they're the same stature and same physicality, right?
Yeah, right.
So I know that right now there's that big gap between me and someone that hasn't been exposed or someone that's been minimally exposed. Like, oh, yeah, I use it. I don't have the paid version. It's like, okay, so you don't know anything. Like, and it's like, well, who are you? Where's your credibility? What's your authority of this and that? And it's like, well, check this out. Why don't we schedule a time and we'll do a little discovery call and I'll do a demo for you on your workflow, and then you can tell me what you think.
What do you find in that experience is like the most, I don't know what the right word is, like the most like beneficial thing for people about AI that they're not really figuring out yet?
So just the massive amount of time you can save.
Yeah.
And how many different ways you can save time.
What for example?
Sure. So, if I did a call with you, before the call, I'd put together a questionnaire for you to fill out, right? And let's say you don't even fill it out. So now we're just going to recap the questionnaire on the call. And I'm just going to go over what your most time-consuming tasks are in detail. And then I'm going to do them for you with AI, and I'm going to do them way faster than you can. And I don't even know anything about what you do except just now, because all of a sudden you know everything about everything. Like, dude, it's 100 of the smartest men who ever lived in your computer.
there's a photo editing AI service called Imagine. Well, there's a bunch of them now, but that saves me hours and hours and hours.
What's the value in that?
My sanity.
You see? How many photographers aren't saving those hours?
The dumb ones aren't, that's for sure.
A lot of them aren't.
Yeah.
And so it could be as simple as me exposing them to a tool like that.
Yep.
And I'm just giving out free game. So when I do those discovery calls, I'll just give out free game. So by the time we're done with that call, Bozzy, you would have paid me for that. You're like, I would have paid you for this call right here. Like, can I pay you right now for this call right here? Because and it's like, no, you're good. What I have is this. If you want this, you can get it. And you're more likely to get it because there's already proof of concept right there.
Value to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just giving out free game in those calls. And again, like I was with a company that got into that space, and then we kind of parted ways, and now I just been staying with it as far as stay ready so you don't got to get ready, bro. I could shake someone's hand and there could be an opportunity and they say, ask me what I do. And my answer is going to be based on whatever that interaction was like. I might be a boxing teacher. I might be a personal trainer. I might be with a merchant services company.
Right.
Or I might be an AI coach / consultant, depending on the way our interaction went. And let's say they ask me if I can meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go home and I'm going to get ready for tomorrow really fast.
Yeah.
Because I know how to get ready, because I've been on it every day, staying up to speed on stuff.
I keep my batteries charged.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So it's that the AI, bro, it's in the next 12 to 18 months, dude, it's going to be more disruptive than COVID was.
Seems that way. I see NVIDIA's doing well. I have a client that works in NVIDIA, and they told me he bought it. He got stock options when NVIDIA was at like 150 or something like that. And they just keep going up and up and up and up.
NVIDIA?
Yeah, NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA's lit.
Yeah. They I guess they have all the technology, all the rights to it all. I don't know exactly how all that stuff works, but it's interesting.
You into any crypto?
Yes and no. One of my like enthusiasms in life is economics, like, and like how money works and how currencies works. I'm a geek about that stuff. I Crypto fascinates me as a currency, as an option to as an alternative to the central banks. I don't like it as a speculative asset because I at that point it's just like, if you're really informed with like forex trading and stuff like that, and you understand like the how the currencies are up and down. And I mean, for instance, like last week when Bitcoin like took a jump, I know that, I'm pretty sure that was because yuan took a dump, and as the Chinese economy continues to tank and will continue to tank, from what I understand, for a long time, like those people are just putting all their money into Bitcoin at the moment because it's a way more stable currency than the yuan. As far as trying to like game it as a security, I don't mess with it at all. I don't hold any of it. But I'm fascinated by it. But again, like it's something, the more and more I learn about it, the more and more I'm interested in it. And it's funny, I actually had an opportunity to hold on, let me have a little sip of water here. Sorry. I found Bitcoin in 2008.
Wow.
When it was $7 a Bitcoin. I read a book about the dark web. I forget what it's called. It was like, it might have just been called the dark web. And they talked about Bitcoin and like what it could be and what it is. And it fascinated me. And I went on the internet and I was going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, right? I was like, I can part ways with $100. I could not figure out how.
Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck so bad? I had an experience like that with Shiba.
Yeah.
So before Shiba went off, the first time, everybody caught the big Shiba wave the second time it pumped. I tried to buy Shiba before the first pump, and I was working like 14 hours a day, coming home late, and dude, I just couldn't, even with the YouTube videos, bro, like they weren't doing a good job explaining exactly how to use Pancake Swap at the time. And here's the thing too, at that time, dude, I was going all in. I was up on Dogecoin, and I'm like, I'm about to take all my Dogecoin, all of it. I'm about to flip it for Shiba. And dude, I was going to drop like 5 bands, right? It like 10x. And
I remember that.
And I just sat and watched it go. And when I bought it, I went through Uniswap and paid all these gas fees. So I got a tiny amount. I got completely ripped off. Then it got listed on crypto.com. I bought more, and then it dipped way down, like way down, right? And then I'm like, man, fuck. So I like sold it, bought some other shit, and then it boomed in October like crazy. And I'm like, fuck,
yeah. Well, like that kind of stuff to me is like a penny stock, and I've gotten burned on playing with those things. I've learned my lesson the hard way about those kind of speculative assets. And I just, that kind of stuff to me is so scary because I have no idea what made it pop. What made Shiba coin pop? What made Dogecoin pop? There's no like predictive values to it. Like I don't understand like how this could, like what would make that go, because it's not a currency. It's not a currency. No one in the world is using that to buy milk with. It's just like this like thing that like we're like the security that we're like speculating on. They're like, oh, it might go up and I might be able to like get money out of it. And like that stuff kind of makes me nervous. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm interested in Bitcoin. But that's it, if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. If you just buy Bitcoin once a week, bro, you'll just like forever be in the green.
Yeah, I think so. Especially as capital flight out of China continues to happen. I think that like that's I think it's probably a good investment over time. But I also I like, again, I'm literally just starting to dip my toe into the crypto space, like really like trying to understand what it is. But also all these exchanges keep going under, like the stuff with Bankman-Fried and like the other guy, the Coinbase guy, like who's under investigation, like all of that stuff. I'm like, wait, where do I even buy this shit? Yeah. And then I was like looking at like Robinhood, and then they got caught with their pants down during the GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck them, and I have like an E-Trade account, and that's, so that's Morgan Stanley. You like to think that they're going to be squared away, although we've learned that in the past that banking is not as secure as we think it is at times. The but you can't buy it through them. But that's where all my brokerage accounts are. So
Well, you don't want to hold all your asset, like all your, like, let's say you're into crypto and stuff. You don't want to hold all, you don't want to hold like hodl, like you don't want to hold all your digital assets in an exchange. Like if you're going to kind of play a little bit of a swing trade type of thing, you know, you have some assets in the exchange, but it's important to get a secure wallet, like a trust wallet. And if you're going to hold your assets, like you hold them there.
yeah, see, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a secure, it's like a secure holding for your digital assets.
So is it like
versus an exchange?
Is it like a physical thing? I remember like at one point they were like physical like USB drives, right? Where like that's where like there's supposedly millions of dollars.
Nah, it's not a physical thing, but you do have a key phrase password that's like 16 words in a certain order, and you can access that wallet as long as you have that from anywhere.
Okay, got it.
And like there's no way, like, but you need to have that thing written down actually, like on paper, in a safe place, probably in a few safe places written down, and then you're good.
So let's say you buy it on like, I don't know, where do you buy it? Where do you buy it?
Binance.
Binance? Okay, so
yeah,
let's buy it on Binance. How do you get it into the wallet?
you just send it.
Is it just like an option? It's like, okay, send money to
send Solana, and it'll send it over to Solana network. And by the way, like Solana went from $17 to today it hit $80, and I actually went from like $9 to like $80, and its all-time high was $260. And it's also like a legit project. It's not like a speculative thing. It's like a very like legit project that is competitive with Ethereum. That's like the #2 crypto in the world, I'm sure you know. And so Solana hit an all-time high. Like, so I bought Solana at $70 back in like 2021. I sold it at $90. It went up to $260, right? And then it dropped all the way down to not like $8 or $7 or something. Dude, and then at 17, no, but look though, at $17, right? But Bitcoin went from 60, you know, whatever, all the way down to 16K too, right? So like, you know, that it's a volatile market. And you know, all the financial markets were crashing anyway around that time. But so $17 I started buying Solana, and then I made some like AI YouTube videos about Solana at like $25, $35, and today I think it hit like $70. I mean $80.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, it's a legit project. And here's the thing too, when it goes to like $3,000 in the next few years, it's not gonna matter if you spent $40 or $80 on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you, because I'm not like technical analysis savvy, but I'm learning because I have AI now, right?
Will AI analyze companies for you?
Oh, dude, it can do anything. It's just, dude, it's like cheating, bro. And it's like, here's the thing, like, how long am I going to be able to cheat until like jiu-jitsu was cheating, right? Early on, right? Like nobody knew it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now the cat's out of the bag, and there is, you know, everybody knows you want to be successful in MMA, you have to learn submission grappling, right? There's no way around it. You have to go train that. Right now I feel like AI is like people hearing about it, knowing about it, like people hearing about Bitcoin, like some people have nah, you know. And I feel like, how long do I have until the cat's really out of the bag? The cat's not really out of the bag yet, but the people that are in the know, just like people that were doing jiu-jitsu way early on, they're like, oh, like this is
a trick.
No, like nobody can stop this because nobody knows about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as soon as like, oh, it's for the weaker, stronger man, until the bigger, stronger man gets a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? So, what can it do? You know, like you can, it's exciting. It's a superpower for sure. It's a superpower. And you know what, Bozzy, like that's how I look at life, right? Yeah. Like, what and where are the superpowers? Like, I want to get superpowers, right? Like the ability to articulate is a superpower. If you ever been to a salsa club and like one time I went to a salsa club and there was this guy out there, Bozzy, he was so good and all the girls wanted to dance with him. Not that I'm married, I don't want to dance with any girls, but my wife can dance. But my point is that once you walk through that door, dude, that was his world.
Yeah.
Like nothing else out of that world existed because everybody's in that world right now and they're in it. They're in it. And it's his world, bro. And he's a beast, bro. You know, and I'm like, that's a superpower. You know, people don't know. Being strong is a superpower. Being athletic is a superpower. Skills like high value skills are superpowers. And, you know, everything's always updating. So I feel like, man, technology, if you can harness that, leverage it, that's a superpower, and that's a rocket ship that can you know help you break free. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to be productive this afternoon, but now I feel like I'm going to spend the whole time on ChatGPT.
Listen, just get the plus.
Yeah,
it's $20 a month, non-negotiable. Just get the plus, and you know, bro, you're my brother, and I'm more than happy to, like, you know, I'll give you some game. I'll give you a little coaching call, bro, and we'll save you some more time. And you're smart. You'll be able to like learn how to continue to use it and teach it how to learn you and your needs too. Like it's incredible.
Does it like, do you like build a profile and it kind of learns you kind of?
You can build anything, man.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean, you can build anything. You can train it to do anything, train it to be anything. You know, you can give it any type of. Okay, I could zoom out. I could zoom out on your room, right? Take a picture of your room, upload the photo, and say there was a murder in this room. I need you to give me all the clues, and it will contextually pick apart that entire room, bro. So it's not just about the picture over there. It's about the picture over there next to the other picture over there next to the other one, and what's in each picture and why that picture is probably there, or why it could, 3 reasons why it could be there.
Oh boy.
All that. It's going to give you all that feedback.
Yeah. My afternoon's fucked now. I'm going to spend a whole time on ChatGPT.
Spend time to save time, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, let me know, bro. We can link up for that. I got you. No problem.
I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah. And dude, again, like I appreciate you, you know, hopping on and sharing and engaging, and we'll do it again.
Dude, I would love to. This was fun. It was fun to just catch up and shoot the shit for a little while.
It was, bro. It was. It's always fun talking to you, bro.
I love it. I love it, man. Dude, this is cool. I wish you nothing but the best with this, man. I hope this thing blows up and you make $100,000 a month on it.
Thanks, bro. Listen, you have an amazing rest of your day.
All right,
God bless, and we'll talk soon.
All right, my man. Perfect. See ya.